All right. Patreon poll time, Ian. How do you access this, Ian? This Patreon.
Patreon.com/CU podcast.
It's not fun anymore because you have all those sticky notes.
I don't have them here. I need to bring them next time, but I had to think about that for a second.
You had okay. So in third place, man, it cannot reach through.
Remove it. It's dead.
What 5 games would you put in a personal arcade? 23%. Second place, best party video games of youth, 31%, and number 1 with the bullet, 46%. Thoughts on Dreamcast?
I am upset you did not put my Christmas album suggestion in.
Would it be as fun as your Will 2K? Thoughts on Dreamcast 20th anniversary, Ian? Go, Ian. What are your thoughts on the 20th anniversary of the Dreamcast?
I loved the Sega Dreamcast. It was, I think, to this day, the only console I bought at launch. I bought my Japanese PlayStation 2 a week after Japanese launch, but the Dreamcast I was so excited for. The Dreamcast I rented from Hollywood Video. They did a pre-launch
rental.
They did a pre-launch rental promotion.
Wow. Could have did a YouTube video then if it was around. And
it was not. It was over summer because the system came out $99.99 in the U.S. This is the 20th anniversary in Japan. But I did that rental. It came with Sonic Adventure and no VMU, so you couldn't save it. So I kept it on over the weekend.
Wow, burnt it out.
Yep, beat Sonic's storyline, nothing else. And returned it. I was so hyped for it. Pre-ordered it, got it on launch day. It happened to be the same weekend that I got my wisdom teeth removed. Or got it. It was before I got my wisdom teeth removed. The copy of Sonic Adventure that I got with it, anyone else who was around for the Dreamcast launch will remember, about 50% of them were improperly burned and would not play.
Oh, okay.
Would not play. So they said they were going to be getting more in a couple days later. That's when I got my wisdom teeth pulled. So my mom went to the mall and got me my replacement copy. And I sat there fucking nursing my wisdom teeth on painkillers the entire weekend. I don't fucking like painkillers. They just make me loopy and kind of cranky. But I sat there the whole weekend and I beat the game start to finish, all the characters.
Okay.
And yeah, I love that system. It was when I was finishing high school and was working and had all this money to burn. I'd go every Wednesday and find cool Dreamcast games. There was tons of sleepers on it. And yeah, I adored it. I played shitloads of Fire Pro D.
You imported it, huh? I never got that. I didn't have Dreamcast, but yeah, I was jealous of people that did because I was thinking about that game. It wasn't a huge step up though from the PlayStation one though, was it? Different graphics though.
Oh, it was hugely different graphics. It had download moves. It added
download moves. They added moves in.
It added back 6-man because PlayStation only had 4.
Yeah.
No, it was a pretty significant.
Didn't have a story mode though.
No,
that the PlayStation
no, it didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. I played Phantasy Star Online intensely. It was one of my it was one of my favorites. It still to this day is one of my favorite systems.
Dreamcast was a system of firsts in a lot of ways. The online play.
Yep.
You had the online play. You had the VMUs, which were really cool to me, gimmicky but cool. You could take them out and play little mini games and stuff. It's still cool.
I loved it. Just they did some neat things, like on the NFL series, for instance. You could look at the screen and cycle through your plays on the screen, so cool. That so basically, like you.
So Kevin couldn't cheat off you.
Yeah, so Kevin couldn't fucking cheat off me. Okay. Literally, Kevin couldn't cheat off.
You had a Kevin too?
I've always talked about the Kevin on here.
Okay.
Yeah, that Kevin could not cheat off me.
Might have been the same Kevin. He might have been warping some different parts of the country. It's all one Kevin. God damn it, Kevin. The VMUs were cool. Obviously, it was the system that sort of tied. It was already the beginning of the end for arcades, but eliminated the need for arcades because now you have a console as powerful as arcade hardware. Finally, so that to me is like Crazy Taxi and and then Soul Calibur and games like that, where it's like, wow, that's the arcade on a console.
And all the fighting games. I mean, you were getting almost perfect, if not you were getting...
No, Soul Calibur, I always said the first time I saw Soul Calibur was amazing. But I was amazed that I saw that on a TV.
Yep.
I was like, wow, that's the arcade game I just saw at Seaside, a couple months ago.
And most of the other fighting games, the Capcom ones, were, just about perfect. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on that system, was amazing. Yeah, I mean, whenever I actually sit down to think about the Dreamcast, I'm blown away by how great that system was.
The controllers weren't the best.
Nope.
That's a biggie. They kind of dropped the ball too big and bulky. The layout was not good.
I was comfortable in my hand. The analog stick was too slippery, and the D-pad was way too tall.
Didn't like the buttons. Didn't like those 4 buttons. It just, I don't know. It was a little too big for what it was. Like, obviously, they did fit the VMU in there. I never knew people that used internet access on it for the 56K. I'm guessing it was reliable for 56K.
It was incredibly reliable. Okay. I played both Quake 3 and Phantasy Star Online.
Quake 3 was pretty good?
That a lot. Quake 3 was great on that. I used the keyboard and mouse.
Oh, they had the keyboard and mouse. That's right. I don't know if they sold a huge amount of it, but they had them. It was in Sega's last hurrah. Yeah, who would have known? Who knows what would have happened though if they didn't have the string of failures before that, and skipped the Saturn and went to Dreamcast instead. Like you can't, you don't know. Like it was just too many in a row, and they looks like, according to Wikipedia, they sold 9.13 million units. That's bad.
It's not even as good as the Wii U.
Yeah, the Wii U did better than the Dreamcast. Wow.
But I can't remember the name of the effect right now. It slips my tongue, but I feel like it fell victim a little bit to the PlayStation 2 coming out a year later. I feel like the Dreamcast came out. I feel all my friends who played it liked it. I knew a lot of people who liked the Dreamcast. I knew a ton of people who liked playing their friends' Dreamcast. I think a lot of people knew that the PlayStation 2 was coming out very soon after.
So they're like, okay, I'm going to wait.
They liked the PlayStation 1, and they waited for the PS2. I never got the impression that anyone didn't like the Dreamcast or thought it wasn't a good piece of hardware. It was that the PS2 was coming out. Everyone knew the PS2 was going to be supported, coming hot off the PlayStation 1. And unlike the Saturn, where I think, the Saturn, no one had interest in the Saturn, a lot of people were interested in the Dreamcast. I just think the timing of it coming out was poor.
Yeah,
and the bad taste from the Saturn hurt it as well.
Sure, the Dreamcast had a respectable library. Sure. It was only, I think, a few hundred in North America.
252, right? I think.
Yeah, so that's respectable, and I would argue that I think no one would say that that's a much better library than the N64 one, probably. When you put all in all, third party, different genres, not relying just on first party games. There's a lot of good ports that were on Dreamcast.
I could start naming Dreamcast games and not stop for a while, whereas on 64, I'd
30 seconds in, we're done.
I'd peter out pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. To me, it sort of doesn't split the timeline, but to me, it's sort of, the end of the era, so to speak, for a certain part of gaming, the Dreamcast. So that's how when I look back at the 20th anniversary, that's what I think about. Let's see. Yeah, it came out, less than a year later, PS2 versus Dreamcast, right? Wasn't that long.
I think Japanese PS2 release was...
March 99, I'm seeing. Something like that for PS2.
No, PS2 Japanese release was, I think, January 2000.
Was it, 2000?
Oh, January 2001.
Give me, PS2 release date. Sorry, yeah, March 2000.
Oh, March 2000. Okay.
So we're talking... I saw 2001. So we're talking... they had a year and a half head start in Japan.
That's right, because I ordered it my senior year of high school.
Year and a half head start in Japan probably wasn't enough. It looks... wasn't enough. Yeah. Sort of like TurboGrafx versus Super Nintendo. Sort of thing. That's the way you can sort of compare it. It doesn't matter if you're hit by with a much powerful system that people want more. So okay, and of course you could pirate games. That wasn't why the system would have sold more if you could pirate games. To me, if people knew about that, if that was widespread, people would have went out to buy that console more. You know what I mean? They would have said, okay, we're fine not selling as much software if we're selling a ton more units. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know what the margin was though on those. Okay.